You can start recording, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
We're just waiting.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga conference call. We're extremely fortunate to have His Grace Vrindavan Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji will be enlightening us by discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, and verse 35 and 36.
Mataji, we can hand over directly to Prabhuji since he's here.
Hare Krishna, Vrindavan Prabhuji. Danvat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Thank you all.
All
So
great.
should we start with the Kirtan?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलम् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all wonderful Vaishnavas for giving me this opportunity to serve you again. So, are you all able to listen to me? Is everybody able to listen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Confirm? Yeah, okay. So today we are reading from Canto 7, Chapter 4, text number 35 and 36. So 35 has no purport, so we will read the verse, translation, and then we'll go to verse 36. So the verse 35 goes that Yam sadhugatha sadasi ripavo api asura nrupa pratimanaha prakurvanti kim uttanaya bhavat. The translation. In any assembly where there are discourses about saints and devotees, O King Yudhishthir, even the enemies of the demons, namely the demigods, what to speak of you, would cite Prahlad Maharaj as an example of a great devotee. Gunairalam asankhair mahantyam tasya suchyate vasudeve bhagavati yasya naisargiki ratihi. Translation. Who would list the innumerable transcendental qualities of Prahlad Maharaj? He had unflinching faith in Vasudev, Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudev, and unalloyed devotion to him. His attachment to Lord Krishna was natural because of his previous devotional service. Although his good qualities cannot be enumerated, they prove that he was a great soul, a Mahatma. Purport by His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In his prayers to the 10 incarnations, Jaydev Goswami says, Keshava Dhrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Prahlad Maharaj was a devotee of Lord Narasimha, who is Keshava, Krishna himself. Therefore, when this verse says Vasudeva Bhagavati, one should understand that Prahlad Maharaj's attachment for Narasingadev was attachment for Krishna. Vasudev, the son of Vasudev, Prahlad Maharaj, therefore, is described as a great Mahatma, as the Lord himself confirms in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 19. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti sa Mahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. A great devotee of Krishna, the son of Vasudev, is a great soul, very rarely to be found. Prahlad Maharaj's attachment for Krishna will be explained in the next verse. Krishna graha gruhitam. Prahlad Maharaj's heart was always filled with thoughts of Krishna. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj is the ideal devotee in Krishna consciousness. So this, going back to the first verse again, in any assembly where there are discourses about saints and devotees, O King Yudhishthir, even the enemies of the demons, namely the demigods, what to speak of you, would cite Prahlad Maharaj as an example of great devotee. So this is Narad Muni explaining to Yudhishthir Maharaj that wherever people in the assembly of devotees talk about devotee, they will take the foremost name of Prahlad Maharaj. Bhagavatam explains that he is one of the 12 Mahajan. Bhishmo Janako Prahlado. So there are 12 Mahajan. Prahlad is considered one of the Mahajan. And even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Jagannath Puri, every afternoon he will go to Tota Gopinath temple to associate with Gadadhar Pandit. And he will always ask for the two stories. And one of the favorite story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit was Prahlad Maharaj, and other one was Dhruva Maharaj. So it's very interesting to know Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, trying to understand the love of Radharani. So see, in Gambhira, he will discuss the talks about Radharani and Krishna with Sarup Damodar, Ramananda Rai, and all the intimate devotees in Gambhira. But he never talked about Radharani with Gadadhar Pandit, because both of them are Radha and Krishna. If they start talking about themselves, they will go in ecstasy. But both of them, Radha and Krishna, wanted to glorify the devotee. That's the another aspect of this pastime in Gopinath, Tattva Gopinath temple, that even Radha, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, themselves, they want to glorify, and they want to hear the glorification of their devotees. Just like the devotees are interested in hearing about the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself is interested in, and he also enjoys the stories, or he enjoys the lives of his devotees, because Krishna considers that it is not easy to become a devotee in staying in this material world. So there are millions and millions, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So there are millions and billions of souls, they are wandering in this material world. Hardly someone comes to Krishna consciousness, even though he's struggling, but he's coming to Krishna consciousness. And that's what Prabhupada quotes in that verse in the next sloka, that Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanvan Ma Prapadyate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sahamahatma Sudurlabha. Bahunam Janmanamante, after many, many, many births, Bahunam Jnanvan, one who has complete knowledge, Prapadyate, he surrenders to me. And what he does, Bhavanam Janmanamanti Jnanvan Ma Prabhu, Vasudevam Sarvamiti. So Vasudev is everything. Samahatma. So that Mahatma is very rare. So this is as the second verse is explaining here. He had unflinching faith in Vasudev. So that is most important in devotional service. Unflinching faith in Vasudev. The strength of a devotee is his faith. And on that faith, he builds up his whole devotional career. And this faith comes from realization. More you realize, more you develop your faith. And more you develop your faith, more you develop your relationship with the Lord. And more you develop your relationship with the Lord, your love for the Lord goes on increasing. So that you can experience even in this material world, your love about God. So just like Prahlad Maharaj is experiencing all love that he is experiencing, now externally people are seeing him that he is tortured by his father. But in fact, in that also, he is enjoying a different kind of, rasa with his Lord. He is not blaming Lord for giving all the tortures that through his father. In fact, he took all that opportunity. In spite of all the things happening to him, he was always absorbed in the holy name. So sometimes devotees wonder, there is Jayadev has written in Dashavatar Stotra, he has glorified all the 10 incarnations. Why in ISKCON or Gaudiya Sampradaya, we only chant these Narasinga prayers after every arati, after every program? And nowadays, the devotees also, they, when they are driving the car, and they make their kids to, okay, kids, now it's time to chant Narasinga Arati. So everyone before driving or doing any difficult work, they also chant the name of, they chant Narasinga prayer. So why we chant Narsingh prayer among all the 10 incarnations? So that is because Narasingadev is a protector of a devotee who has unflinching faith in his holy name. And that is the reason we recite that. Because just like Prahlad Maharaj, he got the mercy of Narasingadev. Those who are walking in the path of devotional service, having faith in the name of God, and they get protection from Narasingadev, just like Prahlad Maharaj, he got the protection from Narasingadev. Even though he's the same Krishna, Keshava Dhrita Narahari, he's the same Krishna, but he just appeared. Krishna can appear from anywhere. So, but see the faith of Prahlad Maharaj, it has never happened in the history before. It has never happened in the history before. It's the first time and the last time happening. It's only for Prahlad. Now, can you imagine, we are all chanting Hare Krishna mantra for last 40, 50, 30, 20, 10, 5 years, whatever that is. If someone asks you, is there Krishna in this pillar? Philosophically, we will say yes, because we have heard the story of Prahlad Maharaj. But if the test comes, are we ready to accept that for me, Narasingadev will appear from this pillar or from the wall or whatever we are telling? If someone asks you, is your God everywhere? Is he here? Is he there? Just put yourself in the place of Prahlad Maharaj. So, will we be able to say with the same conviction? Will we be able to say with the same faith that yes, the God is here? Philosophically, yes, we will say, because we know. We have heard it many times. We have heard this story many times. Yes, we will say. But do we have the same conviction that Prahlad Maharaj had? At least for now, for us, it has happened. And we hear this story practically every Narasimha appearance day, or in between sometime, when we are talking about Prahlad or Narasingadev, we hear this story. So we know this story practically, those who are from India, from their childhood, about how God protected. I learned this story of Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu when I was in school, but in a different context, that only faith. In the school, they were not teaching you that because you are chanting holy name. They were saying that if you have faith in God, God will protect. And they will say that if you have faith in a God and study, God will protect you. But, that was somehow or other, it was a misguided story. But somehow, that time we heard this story about. Nobody talked about, because Prahlad Maharaj was chanting holy name. That's why Krishna protected him. He came in the form of Narasingadev. So, we have heard this many times, but still we have doubt. Is really Krishna going to appear for me from the pillar of my house, or from the roof of my house, or from the wall of my house? So that conviction, as it is said, he had unflinching faith in Vasudev and unalloyed devotion. So the unalloyed devotion follows the unflinching faith. They go hand in hand. Unless we have unflinching faith, we do not have unalloyed devotion. So, what is unalloyed devotion? Means anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavrutam anukulena krishna anusilanam sevanam bhaktiruttama. That there is no other abhilasha. There is no other interest. So this Prahlad Maharaj has no other interest. From his childhood, that he heard the Bhagavatam in the womb of his mother Kayadhu. When Hiranyakashipu was performing his austerities, all the demigods were afraid, and they kidnapped Kayadhu, and they were taking her to the Devaloka, and just to hide her somewhere, or so that Hiranyakashipu will not see. But Narad Muni said, no, you cannot do that. And Narad Muni did something nobody will do. A brahmachari is never supposed to stay alone with woman. But Narad Muni, during the pregnancy, he kept Kayadu in his ashram, So that's an exceptional kind of an example. We should not follow that. He's a Narad Muni and he can do that. There was a higher purpose that he was staying with a woman because he had a higher reason. And what was that reason? He knew that Prahlad Maharaj, who is already predicted by Krishna, when all the demigods, they went to Vishnu and they prayed that this Hiranyakashipu is terrorizing, torturing the whole world, whole universe. So even the devatas, all the demigods, they're all hiding, if just the Hiranyakashipu raises his eyebrows, all the demigods, they're so afraid, they don't even want to stand in front of him. So therefore, they're all running hither and thither, hiding in there. Nobody is coming in front of Hiranyakashipu. He has such a fear in the minds of demigods. But this so therefore they went to Vishnu and they are praying that please. And then Vishnu promises them, I will come to protect his son. So that is the first prediction given by Krishna himself, that his son will be a devotee. His son will be a devotee. How does he know that? Because as Prabhupada mentions in the another purport, there is one more purport there. We will come to that. So there are two kinds of siddhas, Nitya Siddha, Sadhana Siddha, and one more is that is Krupa Siddha. So Nitya Siddha, these are the associates of Lord who stay with him, and even they come to this material world, they are still with the Lord. Only thing is they are here. Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale. That's what we pray to Prabhupada. Krishna Prasthaya. That means he is situated at the lotus feet of Krishna, but Bhutale. He also travels all over the world to inspire everybody to take the process of Krishna consciousness by his own example. So Prahlad Maharaj is considered a Nitya Siddha. And there are Sadhana Siddha and Krupa Siddha. Sadhana, we are among these two categories. Sadhana means one who becomes perfect by performing sadhana. And Krupa, even though his sadhana is not good, even though he is not at all in the line of devotional service, but Krishna wants to deliver somebody, he can do that. That's Krupa Siddha. So even though his sadhana is weak, or even though, then Krishna sometimes consider, that's okay, we might have done some kind of a, nonsense or mistakes or something. But if Krishna is pleased, it is up to Krishna. We cannot force him. Hey, you said you can be Krupa Siddha, so why don't you consider me as Krupa Siddha and I'll go on committing mistakes? No, that's up to Krishna. He will see your heart. He'll see your, under what circumstances you are doing what thing, and if you're honest, and if you're if you're not deliberately involved in anything, then Krishna may consider, and that is called as Krupa Siddha. So most of us are Sadhana Siddha. So we whatever sadhana is given to us, prescribed rounds, following four principles, and associating with devotees, not criticizing the devotees, and always thinking about Krishna. So these are the basic things that are expected from a devotee. So that's kind of a sadhana siddha. So slowly he will develop that faith. So then even if our faith is weak, there are certain things, our faith is weak and our sadhana is weak. Sometimes the faith is strong, sadhana is weak. So in that consideration also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that continue your sadhana. As faith is most important. As long as you have faith, and if you are lacking some sadhana, Krishna will give you the strength. But most important is having that unflinching faith, not to let your mind go anywhere else other than the lotus feet of Krishna, even though we are struggling in this world. And most of us, now to be honest, most of us, we are all struggling. Sometimes they open up their heart, and sometimes they just keep with themselves, because if they show, then people will come to know that how fallen devotee he is. So they never talk about it. So sometimes, some devotees reveal their hearts to their friends or loved ones, and devotees, so that they can get some solace, and they can get some help. So these struggling stage comes in all the devotees. But the most important, Bhaktivinoda says that even if your sadhana is weak, but your faith should not be weak. So we have to make sure our faith, we will not go anywhere other than Krishna. Even though we are struggling, even though we are troubled in this world, still Krishna is, Aslishyava Padaratam Pinashtamam. He is my Lord. No matter what he does with my life, he is my Lord. And I will never leave his lotus feet. That is unflinching faith. And that's what Prahlad Maharaj is. Of course, you can see how Prahlad Maharaj, Narad Muni is saying, he said, innumerable qualities Prahlad Maharaj has. So that is what is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati achinchana sarvai gunais tatra samasate sura haro abhakteshu kuto mahadguna manorathena dhavato asato bahi. So this verse explains that sarvai. So all gunas, all the good qualities of demigods, they, devotee develops them. Devotee develops them. So haro abhakteshu. But if one is not a devotee of Krishna, haro abhakteshu, kuto mahadguna, he will not have even a single good quality. Why? Manorathena dhavato asto bahi. He is riding on the mind, wheel of his mind, and the mind is dragging him everywhere. So his mind is not fixed. His mind is not fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. And that is unflinching faith. Philosophically and with our activities, we should make sure that our faith is not wavered. So that is most important. And therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, he himself is explaining when all the Narasingadev appeared to him, and then after Narasingadev appeared, now Narasingadev is very angry. His ferocious mouth and his teeth and his blood is coming out of his mouth, or the intestines on his neck, and his eyebrows are, eyes are red and eyebrows are raised, and his nails are also covered with blood. So he's very ghastly. But Prahlad Maharaj, he's seeing it as the most beautiful sight. So the devotees, you can see, they can understand Narasingadev, even though he's so ferocious, he is still considered as a kind of a beautiful form. But those who are demoniac, they get scared of that form. So Prahlad Maharaj, after that, all the demigods also were not ready to go in front of Narasingadev. What to speak of demigods? Even Lakshmi, his Vishnu's wife, was not, she was also fearful to go in front of Lord Narasingadev. So she was also not ready to go. So at that time, all the demigods, they are calling Prahlad Maharaj, and he said, you please go. So Prahlad Maharaj has no fear. He has no fear because he knows his Lord. Doesn't matter in any form he comes. He knows the original form, very beautiful Tribhanga Mohan, Krishna has a flute, peacock feather and beautiful, smile and curly hairs and beautiful silken dhotis and beautiful malas and, very attractive Krishna, all attractive. So no matter if Narasimhadev appeared, he knows he is Krishna, but he has come in this form. So sometimes many people say, God is everywhere, but they don't even know who is that God. So we have to know who is that God who is everywhere. So that is what Krishna is. Then you can recognize him, whether he comes from the nose of Brahma like Varaha, or appears from the pillar, or appears in the ocean as a fish or tortoise, or appears as a Mohan Murti. It doesn't matter. Krishna's devotees, they will recognize his Lord because he knows his Lord in original form, Keshava Truta. That's the Krishna himself, So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, he knew that this Narasingadev, even though he is so ferocious, because of his unflinching faith, he has seen Krishna. And he is seeing Narasingadev. Now he's not seeing Narasingadev as Krishna, but he's seeing Narasingadev as Narasingadev, understanding he is the same Lord. He is the same Lord. Just like if your loving person comes in front of you in a different dress, the dress is changed. The person you see is the same. So you don't see the dress, you see the person. So that is how he's saying that this is just a dress, it just appeared. But original personality, he is saying, is Krishna himself. So that is the relationship Prahlad Maharaj has. So when Narasimhadev is so ferocious, and then he is praying, now Prahlad, they asked him, so Prahlad Maharaj has offered beautiful prayers, and then Narasimhadev, he becomes very pleased with him. He said that no one has shown so much faith in me that you have done. What did he do? If we know the story, just imagine. Now, sometimes devotees complain, why there is so much trouble in our devotional service, why it is not so easy. Just compare our life with Prahlad Maharaj, what difficulties we have. See, Prahlad Maharaj, there are many punishments are there that Hiranyakashipu, when he came to know, first he pushed him out of his lap and he said, just kick him out, just take him. This is the second time when it happened. First time he gave chance, maybe he thought, he's just a kid, he don't know anything. So probably if he gets a proper training. So next time also when he comes and he asks, what did he learn? Then he's very humbly saying, Father, chanting, at this time we should go to the forest of Vrindavan and chant Hare Krishna. Just imagine how Hiranyakashipu is feeling. He is telling the name of his enemy, and he becomes so cruel and is so anger. He just throws him away and tells it, just give him, just they bring him and they start piercing with tridents, and each limb, how old is he? Just a Kaumar, 5-year-old boy. With a trident, he's tortured. With his, just imagine 5-year-old boy, we do not have any strength. Like after 20 or something, you become muscular and at least you have some kind of a strength to tolerate some kind of a piercing thing. But here it is a 5-year-old boy. He's, he's pierced with tendons. And what is he doing? He is not even retaliating. What 5-year-old boy can retaliate with? There are so many people piercing with tendon. He's just sitting there. You can see that beautiful picture. He's just sitting there in praying mood, chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Krishna's name. So that is his faith. No, he didn't even try even to do anything because he knows he can't do anything. What he can do? He knows his strength. He can't do anything. So he survived. Then that if you go to Ahobilam, that cliff is still there. We were there in Yatra last year only. So we saw that such a tall cliff. Then they threw away through Prahlad. There is a Gurukul there, and they threw away. They are throwing the Prahlad Maharaj from the high cliff. Is go down into the valley, but he didn't even protest himself. He just went and he was protected by Krishna. So he didn't pray for protection, but by saying, Krishna felt that he should protect him. So he was protected. Then they put him in a hot boiling oil. Can you imagine? Sometimes, those who have experience, when you give like a chance, sometimes the oil, just jumps on your body and how you feel about it. It's just a one drop, Sometimes when you are moving the pot, you forget the cloth or something and unknowingly you just try to pick up the pot and it is so hot, you cannot you cannot lift that, and sometimes the water falls on your feet or on your hand and you cannot tolerate that. Just imagine Prahlad Maharaj was put it in the boiling oil and he didn't protest. He didn't protest. What a 5-year-old boy can protest? So he was just chanting the holy name. Then he was given into at the feet of elephants. Can you imagine 5-year-old boy and there is an elephant standing in front? What you can do? And he's coming to torture him, but he was not afraid. So these are some of the examples which are there in Bhagavatam. Now, just think honestly, how much of this torture is given to us? How much of this torture given to us? Nothing. So still we complain that, why there is so much problem in this world when we are chanting. Nobody is giving us this much of torture. Still they are chanting. Still Prahlad Maharaj kept on chanting. And that is unflinching faith. That is unflinching faith. Because he has no power also to retaliate. What to speak of retaliate? He has no power. So he understood, in front of these big demons, I am nothing. I've let he didn't make Krishna work. It is not that okay, Krishna will take care of me. He was not in that mood. Why is not taking care of Krishna? Why Krishna is not taking care of me? He was not thinking about that. No, he was just thinking, whatever Krishna has given, so that's it. Whether it is flower or whether it is fire, it doesn't matter. He has to accept it. So that is the unflinching faith of a devotee. So that faith is glorified in this verse, unflinching faith, and unalloyed devotion. They go together. So then, see, after Prahlad Maharaj, he got all benedictions. Prahlad Maharaj is giving him all the material benedictions. And Prahlad Maharaj says, I am not attracted to all these material, benedictions you are giving me. I'm not interested at all. Of course, those who do devotional service for something expecting from you, they are not devotees. They are vanik. They are business people. If somebody is doing devotional service to you, asking for something, but that is a business, and I'm not a businessman. I don't want anything. I just want the shelter of your lotus feet. I just want to, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. I just want to keep myself busy in chanting, serving, hearing, glorifying you, because that's my natural position. So that is what Prahlad Maharaj is asking. But still, Narasingadev is saying, please, I want to give you something. Then he don't ask for anything for himself. Then he said, if you want to give something, give me only one benediction. And just see, this is another quality of Vaishnava, another quality of Prahlad Maharaj. What is that? Forgiveness. Now, the father who have tortured him, even though when he was just like a materially considered innocent boy, he don't even know, just because he was chanting Krishna's name, he tortured him. But how much torture? We just explained how much torture was that. And just imagine if someone tortures us, in our heart, what we'll be thinking about that person? We'll be praying, God, punish him such a way that, whatever he has done for me, at least give him 10% of it, 5% of it, 50% of it. He should suffer and understand how much I suffered. But Prahlad Maharaj was not like that. That is Vaishnava. What is he saying? He said, oh Krishna, oh Narasingadev, by your touch he is already purified. By your touch is already purified. I'm not concerned about his purification, but please forgive him, and liberate him from all his sins. Just imagine what kind of a Vaishnava. So that is another quality. That's why Narad Muni is saying innumerable. So this is another forgiveness. How much torture was given to Prahlad Maharaj, and here Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Narasimhadev, please forgive him. So that is Vaishnava. So there are so many things in our life, knowingly, unknowingly, or sometimes we feel they may be there right in their own way. Somebody is troubling us, torturing us in any way, in a small way, not like Hiranyakashipu. Nobody has done anything to anybody like that. Just like Hiranyakashipu's austerities are, nobody can match in history. So similarly, what a torture Prahlad Maharaj has gone, nobody can match in the history. That's only one person. Nobody is like that. So that's only Prahlad Maharaj. So we get that, understanding from the story of Prahlad Maharaj, his unflinching faith in spite of all these things happening around him. So now he is asking that, give me only this benediction that please liberate my father. So Prahlad Narasingadev, he's saying, what to speak of your father, 21 generations, just because of you. One devotee born, 21 generations are liberated. 21 generations. So that is where that benediction is given to Prahlad Maharaj. So all these things are happening. Then Prahlad Maharaj, he's so pleased, Narasimhadev is so pleased with Prahlad Maharaj. Then after getting all this benediction, Prahlad Maharaj starts praying to Narasimhadev. And I see what is this beautiful prayers, Mamam saloke lotvasya saktam kameshu taivare tat sammiti nirvishna mumukshya tuhursi. So Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was born in an atheistic family, I am naturally attached to material enjoyment. Therefore, kindly do not tempt me with these illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your lotus feet. Now, Prahlad Maharaj is being very humble here. So, what is he saying? That I am born in a demoniac family. So, asuras, just like we explained in the last class. So, they are more interested in against the will of God. That means enjoying sense gratification. So, by default, I am born in a family of a demon, and it is natural for me to enjoy sense gratification. And moreover, you are offering me all these things, which is the cause of my bondage. So please, I don't want that. I want to become free. I want to be liberated from these material desires, and I want to take shelter of your lotus feet. So please give me that. I don't want and all this materialistic benediction, and please give me only one benediction, that I will never forget your lotus feet. Now the next verse is more important. What is he saying? You see, भृत्य लक्षण जिज्ञासुर भक्तम कामेश्व चोदतम भवान संसार वित्तेषु हृदय ग्रंथि श्री प्रभु. He said, "O my worshipable Lord, because the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart." So this is what is the root cause of our material existence? Is the lusty desires. Enjoying, sex life is a lusty desires. So that is the root cause of being into this material world. So then he's saying, but you have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee. Now Prahlad Maharaj is saying this. So why God has sent him? To exhibit the symptoms of pure devotee. So this is Prahlad Maharaj who is explaining to Lord Narasingadev. So he knew that he has sent him to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of pure devotee. And in this, Prabhupada mentions that about Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. So Prabhupada explains that Prahlad Maharaj is a Nitya Siddha. He is the eternal associate of the Lord. And therefore, he knew, and Lord also knew, and therefore they both of them have a transcendental eternal relationship, even though they are separated, but they are always together. So these are the innumerable qualities. We just talked about how Krishna was protecting, Narasingadev protected. So now, as we are talking about the qualities of a devotee, there are many qualities explained by Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita and Kapil Dev to Devahuti in Srimad Bhagavatam. So first I will go through some qualities that are mentioned by Krishna, the devotees' qualities. What are the devotees' qualities? And we will see how Prahlad Maharaj has them, because Yudhishthir Narad Muni is saying innumerable. So there is no count to that. But we will count, because our time is also short. So whatever, and even if we imbibe those qualities, that is good for us in this lifetime. Krishna will take care of us. We don't have to be like Prahlad Maharaj, So what are the qualities? The 12th chapter, 13th and 14th verse explains it. Advaishta sarvabhutana maitraha karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha shamo dukkhas samassuchi. So advaishta. The first quality of a devotee is adveshta. He is not envious. He don't keep envy in his heart, because envy means envy to Krishna, and to any living entities. If that envy is projected, that means indirectly we are envying Krishna. So adveshta. So he is not envious. Adveshta sarvabhutanam, all living entities. He sees. He is friendly to all the living entities. He is not envious, but he is very friendly. Then what? Maitraha, he is friend to all living entities. No matter, even if everybody is considering him as enemy, but he is friend to all the living entities. Maitraha, Karuna, he has a compassion for all living entities. No matter, even if they are torturing him, Just like Prahlad Maharaj is saying, see, Advaita, he is not envious of Hiranyakashipu. He is not envious of his schoolmates' boys because they are all coming from demonic family. He's friend to all of them, and he is compassionate to all of them. In the school, he's preaching to them Krishna consciousness, and even at his small age, and he's dancing with them in the kirtan. And he's not envious of his even teacher, Sanga and Amarka. He didn't blame them. And the most important, he is not envious of his father who tortured him so much. Nirmama, he has no attachment in this material world. Nirahankara, he is free from all egos. Sama dukkha sama shami. So he is always equiposed in sukha and dukkha, whether it is happiness or whether it is distress. His mind is fixed at the feet of Krishna. Of course, on the material level, he will do whatever he is supposed to do. Just like if we are sick, we take medicine, just because I'm depending on Krishna, So yes, you're depending on Krishna, but at the same time, because you have this material body, you have to take care of the necessities of material body. But keeping faith in Krishna, keeping center, Krishna is in the center. So that is what is Nirmamo Nirankara Samadukha Sukha Shami. He is always, equal. And Shami means he is, by nature, he is forgiving. So he is always forgives, he always forgives. Then Santushta Satatam Yogi, he is always happy. Santushta, he is always satisfied. See, Hiranyakashipu, he had all palace, all the power to control even the demigods. Still, he was not happy. Why? Because his heart is not happy. But if somebody's heart is happy, very simple, then even if the whole world, he knows Krishna is the owner of this. So he is very peaceful. Santushta, Satatam. He is always peaceful and yogi because he is in connection with Krishna. So if you accept Krishna, he is the Lord and Master of your heart. That is the greatest richness you can have. Not like Hiranyakashipu to own materially the whole universe. But your heart is so simple, Krishna is my Lord, and what I need in this material world. What do we need actually? Just some food and place to sleep. That's it. That's a simple living, right? So that is what is provided. Then he doesn't expect anything, all the time he has. And the less material opulence you have more time to chant and more time to serve. The more material opulence you have less time to chant and less time to serve. So, devotee, he considers chance to serve, chance to think about Krishna is the greatest opulence, not the money. But if it's coming, Prabhupada said, if it is coming, you work hard for 8 hours, whatever that is. If it is coming, yes, use it in Krishna's service. But don't make money and power and prestige a goal of your life. So that's okay. If it comes, like Prahlad Maharaj, he don't want it. But Narasingadev, he said, now I want you to be the king of this world. Become a king of a demon. He don't want it. He didn't do bhakti for that, but it came in. So he don't wanted that. He's lamenting, don't give me any material desire. But still, Krishna gave him. And Narasingadev told him, no, you have to become the king. So Prahlad Maharaj became king. So whether it comes or doesn't come. So when he was 5-year-old, he was tortured so much, but still he was chanting with the same faith. And when he became the king, he was also chanting with the same faith, same determination, same unalloyed love. That is the devotee, sama dukkha. Doesn't matter to him in any circumstances. He is at the feet of Lord Krishna. So, Santushta Satatam Yogi, Yatatma Drudha Nishchaya. Drudha Nishchaya. He is firm in his conviction. He is fixed up in his conviction. Just like Rupa Goswami explains, Utsahat Nishchaya Dhairyat Tattah Karma Pravartana. Utsaha, there has to be enthusiasm and this Nishchaya has to be there. This determination, unflinching determination. This process will work. It works for everybody. It will work for me, and I will never do anything else. So that Drudha Nishchaya, every day I will chant my rounds. Every day I will read Bhagavatam. Every day I will do some service. Every day I will engage myself as much as possible in remembering, thinking, and serving Krishna. So that is Yatatma Drudha Nishchaya. Maya Arpita Manobuddhir Sa Madbhak Same Priya. So when we have all this Maya Arpita Manobuddhir, thus one who has Arpita, who has offered Mana Buddhi. So mind and intelligence, he said, Samay Bhakta, he is very dear to me. So that's a very dear devotee. So that's what Krishna is explaining to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita in 12th chapter. Now here is the Devahuti to, Lord Kapila is instructing his mother Devahuti in third chapter, 25th verse, 25th chapter, 21st verse. Titikshavaha karunikaha. Surudam sarvadehinam. Ajata shatrava santa. Sadhava sadhubhushana. So this is in short. What is that? Titikshava is tolerant. So Prahlad Maharaj shows that tolerance, in spite of so much tolerance, so much torture, he showed that titikshava. Karunikaha. What is this karuna? He is showing the compassion to the same person who tortured him. What can be more karuna? What can be more compassion? Those who tortured you, you are giving him, praying for his good. Just like even Jesus is praying that on the cross. On the cross, what is he saying? Oh God, please forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. See, just imagine what they were doing. They're hitting nail in his hands and in his leg, and he's bleeding. He's in so much pain. What is he praying? God, please forgive them. That is compassion. That is kindness. That is forgiveness. That's Vaishnava. So, Titikshava Karunikas, Surudam Sarvadehinam. He is friend. His heart is pours out. He has love for all the living entities. He don't think only for himself. He thinks about how I can save all the miserable people as much as possible in my lifetime. So that is what his struggle. He's always looking for opportunity to serve others. He's always looking for opportunity to help others to advance in Krishna consciousness. That is Surdam Sarvadehinam. Ajata Shatrava. So he has no enemies. Yudhishthir is called as Ajata Shatrava too. So one Narad Muni is telling to Yudhishthir also in this story. So what is Ajata Shatrava? Yudhishthir is called Ajata Shatrava. Even though he has Duryodhana, Shakuni, Dushasana, Rishtadumna, Karna, so many enemies are there. So how is Ajata Shatrava? So Ajata Shatrava means even though enemies may consider him as a enemy, but he will not consider enemies also as enemies. That is Ajata Shatrava. Enemies may consider him as enemies, but he will not consider even the enemies as enemies. That is Ajata Shatrava. He don't consider anyone as enemy. He looks at it, everybody, as a part and parcel of the Lord. And that is what you can see in the after the sloka in Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidi Pranipatyana. That is what the sloka comes. What does that means? What should you do after approaching a spiritual master? He will teach you to see how all living entities are parts and parcel of Krishna. That is what we learn from spiritual master. That is what we learn. That is why we have a spiritual master who is living like that, who sees everyone related to Krishna and who is serving, who is helping them to become Krishna conscious. So all these qualities are naturally developed in him. So this is what Ajata Shatrava Shanta, because he do not have any enemies, so he do not have any anxiety. He's peaceful. Ajata Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. So these are the qualities of a devotee. So this is what devotee qualities are. Now just a quick reference. Krishna is talking about Sthita Prajna, who is a very strong with a staunch faith, Sthita Prajna, now steadfast devotee. So Krishna, Arjuna is asking to Krishna, Sthita Prajnasya kya bhasha? So how is the Sthita Prajna, how he behaves? So I'm not going to read all the Sanskrit slokas because we are running out of time. I'll just read the translation. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you, oh no, that's not the one. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So, Bhagavan Vacha, Prajahati Yada Kaman, the Supreme Personality of God, it said, "O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from the mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, uh, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Sthita prajnasya. That is, what is Sthita prajna? Who has given up all the desire for sense gratification, which are coming out of mental concoction, and he's fixed his mind, in self alone. That means he is trying to work as much as possible as a self, as a soul. So he's considered as a steadfast. So one who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness. So that is Sukha Dukkha Samashami. That's what we saw the qualities. One who is not disturbed. So Prabhupada mentions in one of his lecture, I heard from my spiritual master just recently when I was listening to him today. So Prabhupada is saying, Vaishnava expects miseries and suffering every moment in this world. He's expecting it. So if it comes, there's nothing, he's bewildered. He's expecting. If it doesn't come, it is not surprising. So here, even if the misery comes, doesn't matter. What we have to do, we just have to keep on chanting. And even if the happiness, just keep on chanting. That is steadfastness. That is unflinching faith. So that is the quality of a Sthita Prajna. So these two things we talked about from Prahlad Maharaj's lives. So there is my one very favorite abhanga of a poem of Tukaram Maharaj, So he's showing what is unflinching faith. So Prahlad Maharaj unflinching faith was in the holy name. So what is that unflinching faith? So as we have heard many times that in Kali Yuga, Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatar. So Krishna has appeared in Kali Yuga as the holy name. And also we have heard this Nitya Shuddho, Nitya Mukto, Abhinno Nama Namina. And Krishna's name is pure. Nitya Shuddho, Nitya Mukto, it is eternally liberated. It is not from this material world. And Abhinno Nama Namina. Abhinna means it is non-different than the holy name. So there is a one beautiful abhanga of Tukaram Maharaj. He explains. He says, how do we know that our faith in the holy name, that he is not non-different than the person who Krishna? So that this is a test. See how much we have. So he's saying the first, Sat divsacha jari upavasa tari kirtanasi sodu nahi. Even if you are kept hungry for 7 days, no food for 7 days, still you should not be disturbed. With the same determination, you should continue chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that's the first one. Sata divsacha jari upavasi. Even though you are you have not eaten for 7 days, tari kirtanasi sodune. Still you should not give up the chanting of the holy name. Then he says that tuto he mastaka puto he sharira namacha gajara sodune. Even if your head is cracked or your body is cut into pieces, still you should not give up the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. So that's the second stage. You see, even if your head is cracked, body is cut into pieces, still you should not give up the chanting. And then the third one, you see how it is. Zhale sharirache jari dono bhaga. So even if somebody is cutting your body in 2 pieces, like Jarasandha, like 2 pieces, tari kirtanasi sodune. Still you should not give up chanting. And then Krishna Tukaram Maharaj says that Aisa jasa nami nirdhar. One who has this unflinching faith, tethe nirantar dev vase. There you will understand how Lord is non-different than his holy name. So now, if you look at it materially, how we can chant when our body is cut into pieces, head is cracked, and first we can understand. If you are hungry for 7 days, we can understand that. But second one and then third one, they're very difficult. When our body is cracked, head is cracked, body is cut into pieces, then in 2 parts, how we can chant? And that is the real realization is body is not chanting, the soul is chanting. At the time of death, your body may not be able to chant because of so many suffering happening to the body. But if we have practiced just chanting, that unflinching faith in our chanting, Krishna will see because he is watching in our heart. And at that most difficult time of death, most difficult type of old age, most difficult type, time of disease, that is, Prabhupada explains, it is inevitable in this material world. It is not maybe, yes, maybe, no, it is inevitable. These things are coming. So that strength you have to gain when your body is good. And that is why we have to invest our all attention, invest our all power, invest our all energy, enthusiasm, honesty, everything in focusing the chanting of the holy name. And then see Prahlad Maharaj, how he was protected. So therefore, learn from this verse is unflinching faith in the holy name. And therefore, even Lord Krishna likes to hear when he comes at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the glories of Prahlad Maharaj, because Lord also loves the stories of those who have dedicated their life to chanting of the holy name or chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. And that is why he liked him. That is why Prahlad Maharaj, the story of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj is, even the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit are enjoying. So these qualities we can see of Prahlad Maharaj, and that is why there are so many devotees. The same Prahlad Maharaj came back as Haridas Thakur in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. And you see, he is simultaneously Brahma and also Prahlad Maharaj. Brahma, because Brahma became so proud, and so he said, please, next time give me a birth in a lowly place where I will not have any honor. And Prahlad Maharaj, because he is chanting the holy name. That's why. And we can see in the life of Haridas Thakur, he was tortured. He was tortured in 22 marketplaces. He was beaten. And he also said the same thing what Tukaram Maharaj is saying. Even if you cut my body into 1,000 pieces, each piece will chant Hare Krishna mantra. So that much there is his body is aligned to the consciousness, and consciousness is aligned to the soul. So Haridas Thakur is so convinced that even if you cut, he's saying Nawab Hussain, even if you cut my body in 1,000 pieces, still each piece of my body will be chanting the name of Krishna. So that is what Haridas Thakur is exhibiting and that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorifying Haridas Thakur. And we can see in our movement, when Prabhupada went to America, we can see all these devotees, those who are preaching especially in the Western world. It is not easy. Prabhupada went to Russia. You might have read the book Salted Bread. The pregnant, mother Mandakini Mataji, who always comes for our yatras with Radhanath Maharaj. She was like a pregnant, and Prabhupada, she was in the jail. And for many days, they were not allowed to take any books to Russia. And what did they do? Just imagine, they took away all the beads from them. And what did they do? They will give them bread to eat. So they will make the malas from that bread, and then they will chant their round and they will eat that bread as a prasad. So just imagine, they would have complained, we are chanting the holy name. This is not my religion. This is some Hindu religion coming from India. We are all communist or we are Christians. Nothing to do with that. But having a faith in the spiritual master, having the faith in the process, having the faith in the chanting of holy name, they unflinching faith. Their faith is as good as Prahlad Maharaj, who was tortured by Hiranyakashipu. They were in the jail. They didn't get proper food. They were tortured. And in that circumstances, they kept on chanting the holy name. And so many, like Alladini Mataji, we know that she was killed because, she was protecting the devotees. So there are so many warriors, even in ISKCON today, they are giving their life to preach Krishna consciousness in many, many difficult places. We don't know. So we always, we should not think, no matter so many in material miseries, there is a craziness of mind, craziness of this body will go on. But we should never ever lose the faith in Krishna consciousness, or faith in chanting the holy name. We may be struggling devotees in this world. Most of us, some people honestly admit, some people, they try, some people are. So it is not that nobody is there. So, so this chanting of the holy name we learned from Prahlad Maharaj, and that was the supermost quality, is unflinching faith in the holy name of the Lord, and that is the reason we chant this nursing prayers after every prayer or any occasion. In our moment or in our personal lives. So I don't know what exactly time it is. I would like to stop here. So if anybody have any questions or any comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shila Prabhupada. Very beautiful class, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class.
Hare
Very
Krishna.
beautiful class. You were telling about story of Prahlad Maharaj. Yes, we all have heard that so much time. But I don't
Yes.
know if if Narasimha Bhagavan will come, especially for a devotee like me. For you, maybe he will still appear.
I don't know.
For me, it's very difficult.
I was telling my
Prabhuji,
religion. Yes.
no, Prabhuji. No. But Prabhu, it's so amazing. Like our shastras are so amazing. I was
Yeah.
talking to one of my actually far family members, and he is a Sikh, with the turban,
Yeah.
and Sikh devotee. And actually, Prabhuji, in their, we were talking about God and our religion. Actually, Prabhuji, in their Gurbani, there is story of Prahlad Maharaj. You know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a
I know.
pure story of Prahlad Maharaj, and
Actually, half of their Guruvani is filled with Bhagavatam.
Yes, Prabhu, yes. Their Gurvani says about Gopal, about Prahlad
Yeah.
Maharaj. It is so amazing, And I asked him, I said, you know what is Gopal means? Oh, he said, yeah, that's in Gurvani. I said, no, Gopal is one who take care of cows. That is Gopal.
Yeah.
So I was explaining him. So,
Yeah.
so our scriptures are so amazing. Like even in Gurvani,
Yeah.
it's full of
Yeah.
that. And you were saying about, about the qualities in the last. And I was laughing, what to speak about saying without food for 7 days. After Ekadashi, we see the time. Oh, it's 8:35 now. Do the paran.
Yes.
I'm asking my wife, come bring the food now. And it's not about breaking paran, but it's about eating. It's about like we're so hungry from last day, and we want to honor the prasadam. And other qualities, yeah, Prabhuji. I love it. I love a bhajan. I don't remember the whole bhajan, but it says, tu sukh de ya dukh data seh lenge hum. We chant, but it's very difficult when the dukh really comes. We are not in a position to handle that, and then we start finding ourselves on the right side, and always other people on the wrong side. It might be devotee, it might be non-devotee. When the really dukh comes, when the hard time we have to face. So it's I think only by I'm continue listening and I'm working on it. I think only by chanting with firm faith, and by having faith in the guru especially, that will
Yes.
give us I hope I will develop that love for Guru Maharaj, and I can go ahead in my bhakti. And you were saying about lust, Prabhuji. I think that's the biggest enemy we have to beat. And hopefully by chanting more and more name only, we can beat this enemy, Prabhuji. That's so true, Prabhu. That's, I think, when we speak about kam krodh lobh moh mad matsarya, we might be able to conquer some of it for us, even small time. But lust is one that actually conquers us most of the time. So it's completely opposite. So everything starts there. Prabhuji, you were also talking about Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. And I think Narahari Prabhuji was asking you, where is that purport? Like, which purport was that? You were saying Prabhupada has written in the purport.
That is Canto 7, Chapter 10, text number 3.
7:10:3. Okay, Narahari Prabhuji. Hopefully
It's
you
the
got
same Prahlad, the best among exalted devotees. So that's the purport of that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Thank you so
sure.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, with your permission, we'll go to the question answer session if you have a few minutes, Prabhu.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Oh, you
Our
are the
very dear.
coordinator today?
Oh, I am the biggest fool, Prabhuji. They just put me here sometime.
Haribol, thank you.
I
Thank
don't
you. I
coordinate
didn't know that.
anything,
I
Prabhuji.
thought you are making some comments or something. Yeah, sure. If
I
anybody has
cannot
any
even.
questions, I see there are some two charts there, but I don't know how to open them. I'm not a computer techie.
I
So
I will
there,
do it, Prabhuji. I will do it. I will do it.
yes, there are two questions in chat, but can
Yes,
you
Prabhuji.
read them
Yeah,
or just
I will do it, Prabhuji. I
yeah.
cannot even coordinate myself, Prabhuji, what to coordinate here. Prabhuji, first of all, we will go to our Sukhakara Krishna Prabhu. He is a very dear devotee and he has his hand raised. So, Prabhu,
Yes,
maybe
he
Prabhu has a
always
question or a comment.
he always gives me
He
his mercy.
he is
Yes,
a
Prabhu.
amazing devotee, Prabhuji. We are
Yes, I
actually
know.
fortunate to have him. We're very fortunate to
Yes,
have him.
yes, I know. He's very sincere. Yes,
Very
Prabhu.
sincere.
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Vrindavan,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Balabhadra Prabhu. You're such a good devotee. You say you don't know anything, but you're doing summarizing so well, Prabhu. Gopal Krishna Maharaj disciple. So
Yeah.
all good devotees, they say they are nothing. Vrindavan Prabhu, as usual, last time I was waiting for you again next class. You go so deep, so analytical, so fantastic. And any Radhanath Maharaj disciple class, I really love.
Yeah, you
Because today
told
I was
that.
hearing a class of Radha, what that, Gopi Bhav Prabhu. He's from Delhi. Gopi Bhav, Radhanath Maharaj disciple. He was telling that he was telling Prahlad the Katha, and suddenly he was made the temple in charge to wake up devotees in the morning and then prasadam. So he went for a camp, and uh, 2 o'clock he had to wake up and go for the nature call and doing everything because he wanted to chant 16 rounds before he wakes up others. But what happened at 1:30 there were 20 dogs when he was doing his nature call on the outside in the garden. And he was scared, what can be done? 20 dogs are there. And he was really crying. And within 5 minutes, they went away and then he washed and he was coming back. All the 20 dogs again came, was running and chasing at him. He just said, let me sing Namaste Narasimhaya. He sang the full song and all the dog danced and went away. So he's telling Narasimhadev is there everywhere. Only thing we're not able to see him. But when the trouble comes, we shout and cry, Krishna will come. So that really, really gave me more and more faith that Narasimhadev can help. And today you also take. But Prahlad Maharaj, I can't believe how he could putting in the oil which is fully boiled. Even a small hand touch also it becomes full jata hai na. It's so scared, So utna tolerance so hota hi hone ka chance hi nahi hai. I think that's why Prahlada's 7th canto is full canto. Krishna has given complete canto for only for Narasimha, nothing else. So, and what Balabhadra Prabhu, that lust is the biggest enemy. So, in spite of in the devotional service, there are many of my congregation people, they say that Prabhuji 3 regular ho jate hai, chautha wala nahi ho pata hai. No meat eating khatam ho jata hai, no gambling interest. But ye andar chupa rehta, which life, whether when you're a dog or a cat, how to come out. So people say you chant and it'll go. But both chant kar bhi nahi ja raha hai. So you have got any special medicine for that? Because one devotee from Bombay has been complaining, he's in an MNC company and he's the big CFO and a lot of young girls come and touch him. He feels annoyed. He has to resign the job. He's getting 10 lakh per month. So I said the only way is you can make that girl a devotee. But वो तो easy नहीं होता है. They're all 20-year-old girl. So you can give some expert comments.
No, I'm not an expert or I'm not a comment. I will just say, because I'm myself struggling in that. So everybody, to be honest, everybody is struggling in that, either gross or subtle, right? So yes, but as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, don't give up the process. Have a faith. This is one of the 6 symptoms of surrender. I do not have that love for Krishna now, but I know this is the process. It may take me some time, but this is the process. And, Krishna, he don't look at your perfection. He looks at your endeavor. He looks at your motivation. He looks at our intention. Correct? In this material world, nobody can be perfect. Only people who come as a perfect, they can be perfect. Like Nitya Siddhas, our gurus, or, they came as a perfect, they are perfect. But we are all trying to become perfect. We are not Nitya Siddhas or,
So Krishna is looking at our effort. How much effort?
We are all sadhana. We are all krupa. That means we are struggling devotees. We have to be honest with that and deal with the circumstances. But at least don't give up the process. Don't give up the process. And more, as the Prabhupada explains, if your food is good, your food is sattvic, and if you are taking proper rest, the mind will not agitate. You will not have at least gross, feelings of
Right.
enjoying the sex. It may
But
remain
subtle come from,
subtly.
subtle come
It
from
may
the past
remain.
life, no? Subtle come from the past life, or when
Yeah,
you're a dog or
actually,
a cat.
yeah, if you remember that in the last lecture I told you, this is the fourth principle, illicit sex is very difficult to give up, because, drinking, we do it in human life. Gambling, we do it in human life. Intoxication, we do it in human life. Sex life, we are doing it. That is the reason we are in this material world, since we have come here. So it has taken so many millions of births. Probably that will take so many births, to come out of it. At least there has to be some start. And there has to be some kind of a honesty. At least there has to be some kind of repentance. And if you have these things, Krishna will see, and whatever is lacking, Ajamil had the same thing, correct? But he gave one more birth and he went back to Godhead. Right? So if we are honest, sincere, our motivations are not wrong, and then whatever is lacking, that's what Krishna's promise. Whatever you are lacking, that because in 18th chapter, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, no matter what you do, there will be some mistakes. There will be some mistakes. So from our side, we have to make sure that we are not intentionally, purposefully, are entangled in gross sense gratification. Okay, so the chanting of the holy name and serving the devotees, and Prabhupada mentioned is doing the deity worship. That he is very much strong. He said we should do the deity worship. That's a very strong point. And because when you do deity worship, there you chant so many mantras, your mind is busy in decorating the deities, so you forget to decorate yourself. And decorating the deities, it is not only at the time of deities, the process goes before also, and afterwards also you are enjoying that beauty. So that at least half a day you are gone in that, So slowly, you will overcome this. Okay. The most thing is Prahlad Maharaj saying unflinching faith. We should not give up the process, and we should not give up, oh, this process is not working on me. No, that is not, we should not do that. Many people just, oh, I know I had one friend, he gave up this process. Oh, I thought I have some bad conditioning in me. He was a gay, He was thinking my conditioning will go, that's why I came to this Krishna consciousness. It is not going. I said, it is not going. It may be with your whole life, It may be. Gay is like a whole life, I said, but the process, you may not get out of that conditioning, but at least the soul is getting purified. Your body is engaged in nonsense, but your soul is getting purified. And if Krishna sees that you have sincere desire out, in fact, in spite of such a strong conditioning, and if you're still working on, because you have for faith, Krishna will make you free.
That kripa will come.
Yes. That's what I said, Krupa Siddha.
But you told this 3 points. What you told that the meat eating gambling, told something I missed.
Sadhana Siddha and Krupa Siddha.
No, I
but
missed
that
that point.
Krupa Siddha is not mentioned in that purport, but it is there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
But आपने कुछ बोला, I didn't hear, Prabhuji. You told meat eating, gambling, intoxication. What something you told, I didn't listen. वो बराबर सुनना नहीं पड़ा. You told something now, about these 3 points. But
no, I was telling that, see, we do intoxication only in human life. And we do gambling only in human life. And we do meat eating only, in human life mostly. Correct? Because we have done it in animal life, but it is progressively reducing. But one thing is their sex, which is a reason to come into this material world, and from the very beginning. So that is the very hard conditioning to give up. If someone has given that, grass and, his Narad Muni says, hats off to him. Only Krishna can say that. That's what Narad Muni is saying. Even one time I asked my Guru Maharaj, does the sannyasi think about sex life? And to my surprise, he said, yes. But In what way he said? Just like Yamunacharya. He said, just like Yamunacharya. He said, when I hear about
Spitting.
sex, my tongue twirls and spit at the thought.
Spit.
So thought will come. We should not get worried about thought.
Spit.
But acting on that is, it should not happen. Thought, it's Kali Yuga, Prabhu. We cannot, thought comes. No matter what it is, thought will come. But we should not work on that thought. That much knowledge, we should cut with a weapon of knowledge.
The thinking point you cut, don't go for feeling and willing and doing. Just at the thinking point you cut and throw it out.
Yes. Hare Krishna. You got it.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Balvendra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for asking this beautiful question. And thank you, Prabhu. Very sincere, beautiful, and practical answer. Actually, I never heard that answer. That is so beautiful explanation. Because, no, actually, we all think why we can do the 3, but the 4th step is so difficult, even in a devotee life, even in a grasta ashram, we fall down, right? But it is so, sanskaras remain. And Prabhuji explained so beautifully. The 3 things we might not have done smoking when we were like a dog or gambling. But, the lust part, it's always there. And that sanskara is remaining. And it's difficult to, it's a billions of lifetimes of sanskara, not 1, 2. So it will take some time. And we all know Harinam is helping. It's not that it's not helping. We are not at the level that we were before. We all know that when we chant for years, we know. And the second point I loved is deity service. And when we will do deity service, it's how abominable is later to touch a body full of malmutra when we are doing deity service. That is so pure. So hopefully we will come at that level, Prabhuji. Very beautiful answer. I loved the 2 points. I just loved it. Thank you, Prabhu, for
So one more
bringing
point,
that up.
Prabhupada has told, every night if you read Krishna book, even 1 page, you'll go back to Godhead. Because Prabhupada, Satsuru Maharaj just told. So that's why I started reading every day at least 1 chapter, 2 pages or 3 pages of Krishna book.
That is nice. That's nice. Thank you.
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
So
So any other questions? I don't
Prabhuji,
see.
I don't see any other questions
Okay,
there.
that's fine.
But our Shamagori Mataji is there. I think she wants
Hare
to
Krishna,
have a comment.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Haribol. Hare Krishna.
Very,
Dandavat.
very wonderful class, Prabhuji. How nicely you narrated whole story of Prahlad Maharaj and how you related with Tukaram Maharaj so nicely, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me this service. Haribol.
Yes, Mataji, you should call Prabhuji often for the classes because it's a beautiful class.
She is always merciful on me. I always come.
Haribol. You are merciful, Prabhu. You are giving us your time and sir, your service to Srila Prabhupada's mission and coming on the Bhakti Sanga Japa group. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, dear devotees, if nobody has any questions or any comments, we will end the call here. We will pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the assembled Vaishnavas on the call. You can unmute yourself. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Vaishnavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Sadguru Srila Prabhupada ji ki Jai.
Thank you,
Vrindavan
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji ki Jai.
Ranga.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Aditi
Nanda,
Mataji.
Ananda.
Lita Mataji,
Gauranga,
Dinabandhu
Gauranga,
Prabhuji.
Nityananda.
Haribol.
Thank you,
Jai
Aditi
Shri Radhe,
Mataji.
Chai, Chai,
Thank you,
Vrindavan.
Manmohan Prabhu.